All right, so the affirmative side has says that you need college education necessary for upward mobility, which once again nobody is denying. But what we do want to say in response is that by charging students less than the actual cost of their education, we are using tax dollars of poor non-college goers, and they are paying for their education. So basically, you're already getting K through 12 for free, essentially. Now, at this point, you shouldn't be having other citizens paying for you to go to college, especially if you are majoring in, let's say, fashion design, in which you're making $30K a year, not helping the economy that much. So if you want a better future, you should be in charge of it. You shouldn't have poor people trying to pay for it who already don't have a college education, putting them deeper in the hole, if anything. So moving on, so this plan, so it doesn't ensure that students will graduate at all. I think they even specifically said for those that do graduate. Not a lot of people. In fact, this plan will most likely decrease graduation rate. So it doesn't ensure that anyone's graduating. And education journalist by the Washington Post, Jay Matthews, quotes that it involves spending hundreds of millions of dollars in flooding public colleges and universities with new students. Increase spending on tuition to make sure everyone gets a free ride would mean less money to hire more professors and less money to expand room in the most important classes so that students can get what they need to graduate. So once again, it does, your major plays a part. What are you going to do when you graduate? Is it something that will help the economy? Is it something that you're going to be giving back or helping in any way? So decrease quality, and then in addition to quality, they will be lacking a lot of advising needs. So students will not have necessary advising to graduate. It's not just that at this point, maybe they have a side job, they can't afford books, all the extra costs, but they actually won't have advisors to help them. If you think about it, the ratio of students and professors will be wildly off, depending on how many more people are applying to these colleges. Could be 2 or 3 times as many. As the other quote said, flooding in all of the state universities. So if they don't have a system in place to help students get through these institutions and graduate on time with a college degree that allows them to go directly into a good job or fully transfer credits to a bachelor's degree, it's doing more harm than good, because you have half of a degree, you have half of an education. If you're not graduating, it doesn't necessarily mean a lot. So what they need to do is kind of go in more of a direction where they're helping students graduate on time, finding majors that are helping the economy, helping everybody else. So one example is in Germany, universities are tuition free. There's a long list I'm sure we're all familiar with. Finland, Germany, Mexico, a lot of them are. Education specialist Jennifer Walsh does state that in Germany, where universities are tuition free, only 28% of the general population has attained a college degree. In Italy, the rates are even lower, just 24% of the population has a college education. So free education, and only 1 in every 5 people even has a college degree. Clearly, the rates aren't that high, and you're not pushing enough people through in the system. It's not making a difference. So, right now, we do want to mention that, every generation, millennials, more educated than the last. So right now, Americans are more educated than ever before. There's not that big of an issue with our system. More than 1/3 of Americans over the age of 25 do have a college degree in the United States, which is a hell of a lot better than the other countries. Okay, and so looping back to the idea that this will negatively affect student to professor ratios and the ability to advise, you're just overall affecting not just the economy, but the quality, the students, everything that goes on inside of these organizations, universities. So there are negative consequences to tuition free on several levels. And you should not be putting the burden on other citizens. And then just the very last point I want to touch up on is Warren's plan to charge the ultra wealthy. There are some implications with this. So I would say the first one is that, the wealthy citizens, ultra wealthy, are giving back to the economy. So a great example is the luxury tax back from 1970s. So according to Forbes, the most pronounced effect of this luxury tax is felt through the American yacht industry. The additional 10% on yachts caused American boat builders to shutter operations and cut jobs, as the rich either skipped out on yachts or bought them cheaper from overseas. The tax did not raise money for the public or programs. Instead, it actually created a revenue loss as a result of those jobs. So what's happening is you're taxing the ultra wealthy. They are not giving back to the economy. We need them, or the domestic economy. We need them to be spending here, creating jobs here. They're owning businesses. They're giving jobs to the same people you're trying to help. Pushing them away from the U.S. is not helpful. Thank you.